They come off the victory over the Hawks Saturday at the Garden. They've won 3 of the last 4, 9 of their last 14. And the San Antonio Spurs, 24-39. They beat Utah on Saturday night by 3. They have won their last 2 games. They've won 3 straight here at home. And at home, the Spurs 20 up and 13 down. The Knicks control the tip. Mark Jackson picked up by Johnny Dawkins. Here's Ewing going right at Nymphius, draws the foul.
Didn't take long, as it shouldn't.
Local product from the New York City area, played well against the Knicks in that early game. Also out of the lineup because of a pinched nerve in his neck. Missed the last 5 games. And that, along with the loss of Greenwood, has hurt. Here's Dawkins, 5 on the shot clock, looking for the shot.
Jackson couldn't have done better. Kept him out of the middle, as Rick Pitino was screaming for him to do. After all those fakes, he still had the concentration.
Gerald Wilkins. Rebounded by Green. He was blocked by Berry and then able to follow. So the Knicks lead by the score of 3-2.
No middle, Patrick.
Dawkins and Robertson in the backcourt. Berry up front with Nymphius and the rookie Greg Cadillac Anderson. Here's Dawkins, and it's against the Spurs. Dick Pavetta with the call. It's an offensive foul. Alvin Robertson called on the foul.
Pulling guard for Johnny Dawkins on that play. Rick Pitino is making it very clear he does not want Johnny Dawkins to get down the middle.
Kenny Walker trying to get it out, and they will jump it up.
Walker made a good recovery of a very weak pass to him. It was down low.
So Walker will go against Berry. Walter Berry, of course, teammate of Mark Jackson with the Red Men at St. John's. Jackson got the pick, met by Nymphius. And here come the Spurs. Dawkins on the run. Robertson stopped by Ewing.
It happened so fast, I don't think many people saw it, but that turnover was because of Alvin Robertson's quickness. He got his hand in the play. This is the last block by Ewing.
But realized that it was their ball. Well, they realized, and we're not sure who would be inbounding. So San Antonio now leads by the score of 4-3. Here's Walker. Kenny Walker hits. And the Knicks lead by 1. Just underway in San Antonio. Robertson trapped. This is Anderson. Strong move by the rookie from the University of Houston. San Antonio's second pick on the first round, the 6'10" Greg Anderson.
The left out Cadillac. Greg Cadillac Anderson.
He's going to build to that.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Sidney Green with his second field goal.
Sidney Green started off quickly against the Hawks the other night. Was shooting that jump shot very well in that game.
Nymphius not looking for the pass. Dawkins. Beautiful touch by Johnny Dawkins, the all-time leading scorer for the Blue Devils of Duke University. And he's hit his first 2 from the floor. 8-7. Spurs by 1. Here's Wilkins. Rebounded by Nymphius. Good position. And Anderson able to take advantage.
Well, as you say, Marv, he got the good position on Sidney Green.
San Antonio by 3, 10-7. Green with a duck under move and rejected by Nymphius. Berry from Robertson. And the Spurs by 5, 12-7. Johnny Newman is getting set to make an early entrance coming off a big game against the Atlanta Hawks. Wilkins faking the three-pointer, then shooting.
Robertson wanted him to do that. He dared him to do it.
And here comes Newman for Green. Newman had a 27-point game, a career high against the Atlanta Hawks on Saturday. Green sits down with 4 points. And let's see what the call is here. That is a backcourt violation. Robertson pleading his case that it was touched by a Knick, but he wasn't really serious. Gave it a shot.
Played it out well.
Here's Bob Weiss huffing and puffing here as he was at practice.
I asked him if he was sore. He said no. Because they only played half court. He said, I wanted to run full court, but with me out there, we were going to keep it to half court.
Ewing was run into by Nymphius.
Winner of the Sven Nader lookalike contest.
Johnny Newman is stopped and fouled on the play. So Newman will go to the line. Ed Middleton with the call.
Newman getting into the action right away. Going around and into her. Now at 84%.
Some pressure. The Knicks light pressure. They drop back. And a traveling violation called on Anderson. Seven and a half remaining in this first quarter as Mark Jackson calls out the play. Ewing through the air ball, fielded by Walker, and Kenny Walker has brought the Knicks within a point.
Patrick, help up! Lefty! Lefty!
And Berry off the spin. Basket counts and a foul. Rick Pitino was screaming at Johnny Newman, lefty, lefty, with the indication that's the way Berry was going to make his move.
But the spin is what separated him from the defense. And despite the help that came over, he still was successful. The unorthodox, great moves of Walter Berry. Asked Walter if he wanted to say hello to anyone back in New York. He said, please say hi to my mother, Denise.
Walter averaging 18 and a half coming in. Only a 61% free throw shooter. Here's Tucker, yes. Trent Tucker from 2-point range, and San Antonio by 1. 14-13. Dawkins with a beautiful move, then lost it and called for a travel. Timeout. And Ewing in traffic, lost it. The San Antonio Spurs have taken 7 shots. They have hit all 7. Walker with the steal, but he stepped out. Good effort by Kenny Walker. The Knicks shooting 5 of 11 from the field in this first quarter. 6:23 remaining.
Interesting, a 1-point difference in the game with that shooting by the Spurs.
Robertson got it by Tucker. Goodmanson's pass deflected away. Good hands. Last touch by the Knicks. And the Spurs have 13 on the shot clock. Knicks now have Walker, Newman, and Ewing up front.
You got it! You got it!
Almost a 5-second violation.
Patrick!
And here's Dawkins off that head fake. Walter Berry will not count. Traveling violation. So it will be Nick Ball.
Walter Berry with a nice move. That's one of the reasons it was so nice. I mean, he just kept going and going without dribbling the basketball.
And away from the ball, Ed Middleton calling a foul against the Spurs. Holding foul on Anderson. No, they say Goodmanson. Peter Goodmanson, 7'2", 270 pounds, in his 4th year in the NBA out of the University of Washington. Now Bill Cartwright replaces Patrick Ewing. Goodmanson hails from Iceland. Can you see the Goodmansons of Iceland responding to a knock on the door, and someone asked, can Peter come out and play in the schoolyard in Iceland? A steal by Robertson. Dawkins with a pretty pass. Oh! Berry finishes it off. Make it 8 for 8 for the Spurs.
That steal by Alvin Robertson was the block of a Trent Tucker jump shot. That happens rarely.
Cartwright called for the travel. Another Knicks turnover. Now San Antonio has hit all 8 of its shots. Walter Berry with 4 out of 4. So the Truth opening up on fire.
Truth opening up on fire.
Help him!
Dawkins got the step. First miss of the game for the Spurs.
Mark Jackson is so busy on defense with Dawkins and Robertson, he hasn't gotten into the offensive flow himself.
Foul called on Goodmanson, his second. Here comes Cedric Toney.
Mark Jackson looking inside. That's where the Knicks want to strike, but he had a little too much on that pass. However, the official ruled that Bill Cartwright was pushed on that.
And now a technical foul has been called on Goodmanson. Saturday night.
Interesting, Rick Pitino going to Cedric Toney this early. He usually has come in as the last minute or two of the quarter dwindled down.
And the foul on the Knicks, 2 fouls, and as you say, not exactly a threat.
Plays 15 minutes a game. And notice that 82% from the line. That's excellent for a big guy.
Cartwright twisting in. Rebound Goodmanson. And a foul called.
See, what the Knicks don't want, any team doesn't want to go into a situation where you have such a dominant position at center. Knicks have Cartwright and Ewing. I mean, who's Goodmanson, right? But the signs now of Goodmanson being a factor in this game, and the Knicks certainly don't want to make Goodmanson an obstacle that they have to overcome. They want to assume they're going to be victorious in that matchup.
Newman going for the steal, and he's called for the reach-in. And the Knicks are now over the limit. That is the first committed by
Jordan.
San Antonio with a 4-point lead, 4:20 to go in this first quarter. Toney looking for Cartwright. Wilkins lost it. And it's Robertson off the steal. Nice play. Walter Berry, 5 for 5, 10 points. 6-point Spur lead.
Robertson's causing all kinds of problems.
And here come the Spurs again on the run. Dawkins had nowhere to go. Goodmanson. And the foul called a loose ball foul on Cartwright. So for Cartwright to keep it alive.
When Neely scores, it's a major event for the Spurs. Strictly a banger and a hustler.
Goodmanson had it poked away and then recovered. 10 on the shot clock. Goodmanson off a spin and drew the foul. Ewing with his second.
Tight calls. The Knicks are going to face that on the road now. Goodmanson with a good back-end move. I don't know where the foul is. It might have been his right hip bumping up against the 7-footer. But the Knicks have to deal with that now in the foul line.
Game won by San Antonio, 117-112. Spurs with 9 consecutive points. That streak ended off a pretty move by Newman.
Oh, over people.
3 minutes to go, first quarter. San Antonio by 7, 25-18.
See a move like that, you say, oh, Newman drives in, scores. I mean, what a monster move that was.
Robertson and Ewing off the boards. Here's Toney from deep. And rebounded by Robertson. Dawkins with the step. And Dawkins will go to the line.
Knicks a little slow in defensive transition. Dawkins is wide open.
Timeout called by the 2. The Spurs have hit 9 of 12 from the field, and the Knicks 6 of 16. San Antonio leading 27-18. They were helped moments ago by that 9-0 run against the Knicks.
Spurs have scored double the amount of points the Knicks have inside.
Very careless sequence by the Knicks.
Gerald Wilkins not looking for that pass from Tony. If he's in the backcourt, Gerald has to know where that ball is.
Here's John Sunvolt, 5-year pro from the University of Missouri, coming on for the first time. Knicks trying to trap. Illegal defense called for the first time against the Knicks. San Antonio gets the new 24.
Story on Sunvolt is he is a three-point shooter, and that's what the Knicks have to avoid. Nice overhead shot here of the Knicks defense moving around as a unit. Sunvolt, after that practice, after that whistle rather, took the three-pointer, made it, didn't count, but that's what the Knicks have to guard with him.
Spurs turn it over. And here is Ewing. So Patrick Ewing with his first field goal. Mike Mitchell, who just checked in, connecting on his first. And again, a Knick turnover. Mitchell behind the back for Sunvolt. And Newman off the steal. Minute and a half left in this first quarter. Here's Green. Rebounded by Neely. Spurs have Neely, Mitchell, and Goodmanson up front. Backcourt of Sunvolt and Dawkins. Dawkins with the ball, guarded by Tony. Spurs by 9. 5 on the shot clock. Mitchell. And he is fouled.
You look at that Spurs lineup right now. Goodmanson, a non-scorer. Neely probably will not take a shot.
And I have the idea he's had some trouble shedding weight.
His upper body looks strong, though.
Green called for the travel.
See, from the Spurs standpoint, Ed Neely will do his job if he rebounds and contains his man, Sidney Green. So that's a job for Green to get some points.
Mitchell dumping it off, and Goodmanson fouled. Spurs hustling all over the court. Here's Mitchell. And San Antonio leads by 14, 34-20. Patrick Ewing. Rebound, Mike Mitchell. Half minute to go in this first quarter. And it will be Nick Ball with 19 seconds remaining. Not the kind of start that Rick Pitino and the Knicks were hoping for. We're talking about the fact that this is one of the bigger games of the season for the Knicks. Start of a very rough 3-game Texas trip. And the Knicks, the start of an 11-game stretch where they play 8 times on the road. And this one of the beatable clubs that they will face away from home. Newman was tied up by Mitchell. He walked right into it with 2 seconds to go in the quarter.
Credit the Spurs with playing excellent defense here in the first quarter. They've made it very tough on the Knicks, who can't get their offense going.
So that is the effective March 19th. Jackson off the steal, won't count. Offensive foul. That's Dwayne Washington, D-U-A-N-E. He was a second-round pick of the Bullets. And the '87 draft, played for the Rapid City Thrillers of the CBA. Possible Harry Weltman doesn't realize he has Dwayne Washington signed to a contract. Nice move again by Walter Berry.
I think he would appreciate you reminding him. You ought to call him after the game, Marv. Harry will particularly appreciate hearing from you.
Newman off with the three-point attempt. Now Sunvolt with room.
They're playing excellent basketball.
Spurs by 12, 46-34.
They're keeping their spacing very well offensively.
Ewing getting it back to Jackson. Pretty play. Mark Jackson brings the Knicks within 10. And again, the Knicks trap. Berry back to help out. And Ewing nearly picked it off. He flecks it out. Here come Cartwright and Wilkins returning. Actually, the Nets have Dwayne the Pearl Washington. Should explain Dwayne Washington. No relation and a different guy. One-time Washington Bullet is also a member of the New Jersey Nets, signing a 10-day contract today. As if their play-by-play announcer, Steve Albert, isn't confused as it is.
That's a big challenge for Fritz Massman, their trainer, to get everybody straightened out. Nice move by Sunball there. Hits the shot, but foul was called before that.
And that's the third, picked up by Cartwright. 4 minutes gone by in the second quarter, and the Spurs lead by 10, 46-36. Sunvolt got some room. Berry on the tip. Wilkins through the foul. Basket counts. Sunvolt called for the contact, and Wilkins will go to the line for Gerald, his first field goal.
Big hoop for the Knicks. They get it under 10 now. Knicks defense is working. They're rushing the Spurs. They're missing their shots now, and the Knicks are starting to run and pick this tempo. Game 14 of 31. Spurs, however, continue at a on-fire pace. 17 out of 24, 71%.
11 for 14 in that first quarter, including their first 8. Knicks again trapping. Berry nearly coughed it up. Knicks felt he traveled. Here's Berry over Ewing. Walter Berry has hit 7 of 8 from the field, and he has 15 points. Spurs by 10, 48-38. 5 minutes gone by, second quarter. Ewing with a big step, and the foul called. The basket counts. Fans react. They felt should have been a travel on Ewing.
Has a bit of a, takes a big step now. He'll hop when he gets that ball with that dribble. And
looked to be a travel.
It was a big hop there he took. Does that quite often, though. That seems to be one of the moves that many players in the NBA are allowed to do. Everybody has their distinct way if they're a big-time scorer, and sometimes moves like that don't get called.
7-point San Antonio lead. And Berry continues the sensational shooting.
Believe that shot? That was a one-hander from 5 feet.
Spurs lead by 9. Berry has 17 points. Ewing threw it away. Here's Dawkins. And Berry fouled by Green by 10. Johnny Newman getting set to return. Here's Walker over Berry. Nice shot by Kenny Walker. He's 3 for 3. And the Knicks trail by 8.
Don't see Kenny Walker shoot that jump shot off the dribble that often. That was a beautiful move.
San Antonio turning it over. Here comes Newman for Walker. So the Knicks now have Ewing up front with Newman and Green, Jackson and Wilkins in the backcourt. Jackson, Ewing again had it knocked away. And Berry able to finish it off. It's been a high turnover first half for Patrick Ewing. Balls being consistently slapped out of his hand. Jackson fouled. So Mark Jackson will go to the... And Newman stepped out and he's hurt. Johnny Newman is hurt. Here's Anderson, and the Knicks will call for time. On Saturday night, Here's Wilkins. And the Knicks now trail 55-46. Cedric Toney back in for the Knicks.
Spurs do not have shot blockers out there, so look for Gerald Wilkins and Mark Jackson and everyone else to continue driving to the basket.
Tucker got caught on a mismatch and was called on the foul. Knicks' 4th team foul.
A sky cam at work.
Yes,
here, huh?
very nice.
It is nice. Unusual we get that shot. See the contact on that play.
And we appreciate the fact that you got here a couple days early to set this up for us, John. Getting into the technical end now.
If they have the facility, Marv, I always like to make it happen.
5:07 remaining first half, and the Spurs lead by 9. And Toney reaching in caught Dawkins, so that puts the Knicks.
You looked at Tubbs, and I wondered if he had a chest. Couldn't tell. His pants are up so high.
I can
hiding all that weight.
Recall Tony Tubbs from his amateur days, and what a fine prospect he was. Here's Gerald Wilkins from deep, rebounded by Ewing, rebounded by Green. Now Wilkins on the recovery, and it won't count. Offensive interference. A lot of hard work for Zippo.
Take another look at it. Great effort by the Knicks. Looked to me like that ball was out of the cylinder. But the angle sometimes is deceptive from the camera. You cannot tell perfectly in a replay, but it looked like it could have been out of the cylinder, certainly. But so what?
And Anderson will go to the foul line. Getting back to the subject of Tony Tubbs, as we looked at Greg Anderson, who was in a little bit better shape than Tony Tubbs. I did many of his amateur fights. Newman, he turned his right ankle, but will give it a shot. So at this point, the Knicks don't consider it serious. Holding foul call on Alvin Robertson.
Knicks need Johnny Newman. So Mike Saunders better get that tape on tight.
Against #1 ranked Temple at the Meadowlands on Thursday. It will be Nick Paul as Ed Neely stepped over the line and inbounding. It's a 10-point San Antonio lead. Wilkins guarded by Berry. Nice shot by Gerald Wilkins.
Berry played him so well, too. What a shot.
Spurs now by 8. 4 minutes to go. First half. Berry with room. Oh.
Nobody like him in the NBA. No one shoots with the unorthodox moves and the effectiveness of Walter Berry.
He's hit 10 of 11. Wilkins missing on the three-pointer. And it's last touch by the Spurs. It will be Nick Paul. Walter Berry's the high man with 22 points. He had a 20-point, 11-rebound game in November against the Knicks.
Look at Robertson. He just challenges everybody, everything.
Once again, Ewing nearly coughed it up and was very fortunate. Last touch by the Spurs.
How high he gets up in the air, too, number 21.
Spurs continue to collapse on Ewing, and it's paid off. This time he was able to recover. 8-point San Antonio lead. Ewing has 10 points. Alvin Robertson with his first field goal.
Boy, you can tell they're home the way they're shooting that basketball. Wow.
Tucker from 3. Wilkins off the steal. Ewing. Yes, and it counts.
Mark Jackson caused that turnover with his quick hands. Ewing is starting to own that underneath now. He's getting the ball. He's getting his shots. He's really creating problems.
Ewing was fouled by Neely. Spurs call for time. When we come back, Ewing will go to the line. The Knicks now down, shooting by San Antonio in this first half. The 23 of 30 from the field. Tucker keeping it alive. San Antonio shooting 77%. Here's Ewing. So the Knicks, despite the fact that the Spurs have been on fire, trail by only 6. The Knicks have shot 48%, 20 for 42. Robertson threw it away. Here's Jackson. Rebounded by Tucker. Jackson again. Yes. Oh, what a move by Jackson, taking a bump from Neely, and the Knicks cut it to 4. And again doing it with the trap. Robertson open. The Spurs continue to drill from all angles and hit.
Knicks are battling them well on the boards, though. There is no dominance by the Spurs, and that's what's helping them keep in the game as well as their defense. It's taxing, but it's working for the Knicks.
Knicks have been down by as many as 15. They're within 6. Anderson going to the boards. Dawkins played by Tucker. Minute 45 to go in the half. Robertson got the step. Alvin Robertson has hit 3 out of 4. He has 8 points.
Left-handed running push shot. Most unusual to see a man do that so comfortably. That was not in close.
Tucker given the room, an invitation. And Ed Middleton, the outside official, calling a loose ball foul against the Knicks.
One of those mystery calls. Everyone was wondering. Anderson thought he had committed the foul, I think. Somehow there's a foul on Ewing on that play.
Well, what happened was Middleton said 33, and Anderson is also number 33. So Ewing sits down, and the Knicks now have Johnny Newman giving it a shot. He's up front with Sidney Green and Kenny Walker.
You would nitpick that, wouldn't you?
Did catch a piece of the rim. Newman trying to work it out as he dribbles it down. Hurt his ankle earlier this second quarter. Tony bothered by Robertson, and last touch by Robertson.
As is everyone who he plays against. Boy, is he tough. Alvin Robertson challenges everybody, everything.
Wilkins using the pick, met by Anderson on a switch. Kenny Walker, tough angle jumper. And Walker's had the hot hand. He's 4 out of 4. The Knicks trail by 7. 45 seconds to go in the half. Barry stepped out of bounds.
Pressure caused it.
Rick Pitino trying to get Mark Jackson back on the floor. Green posting, puts a move on Anderson. Here come the Spurs. 25 seconds to go in the half.
Fine recovery by Anderson because Green had him beat.
Robertson with the bad pass. 10 seconds to go in the half.
Tony held it too long.
And Newman again missed the stuff and shaking his head, but he was fouled.
Cedric Tony had a couple of people in front of him, but Newman runs the court so well, he filled in finally and did get the pass from Tony. Nice scoop pass. Newman where you want a big man to be, in the middle of the court.
Robertson picked up 1 game behind Cleveland, half game in front of the Bullets as they vie for those final playoff berths. And the Knicks now trail by 5. Final seconds. That's a traveling violation. Knicks get it back with 2 seconds remaining in the half. Trent Tucker quickly checks in.
3-point shooter arriving on the scene. The Knicks pressure again. Back-to-back turnovers by the Spurs.
Come on out, man. Come back.
Look to make go screen mark.
There's Tony firing.
Just missed.
So the Spurs by 5 over the Knicks at halftime, and the Knicks cannot be unhappy about this situation because the Spurs shot in the area of 75% from.
Will pick first in the 1987 NBA draft.
From the moment David Robinson's name was called, questions arose. Sure, the Spurs had selected Robinson #1 overall, but would he ever wear a San Antonio uniform? He had the option, because of his 2-year naval commitment, of waiting for a better deal. Early last September, the Spurs made their pitch with all of San Antonio behind them. This college basketball player of the year, never recruited out of high school, was being wined and dined now. He and his family were flown to San Antonio and treated like royalty, like statesmen, like the cream of the crop for 48 frenetic hours. After all, he is the man who holds the basketball future of the city in his talented hands. The treatment included chauffeured limos to each and every destination, unless, of course, it was traveling via helicopter with the mayor. Only the best foods and the best restaurants were dished out for the Robinsons. There was a break for tennis with Spurs coach Bob Weiss. A game won by Robinson, which was undoubtedly planned. Then an hour or two on the San Antonio golf course.
I'll play.
There was a reintroduction to water, a riverboat ride, and a commission as an admiral in the Texas Navy. And everywhere were the fans, excited and genuine. Sure, Robinson had that option. He could wait, but on November 6th, he made up his mind.
This was a very tough decision for me. You know, I had to sit down and really think about it. You know, I got a lot of advice from everyone across the country. But I'm the one who has to live with this decision, and I sat down and I carefully thought it out, and I decided this is the place I wanted to be.
Despite all the goodwill shown David Robinson, the fact is his visit and his decision made him a very rich young man.
There isn't anybody bigger contract anywhere in pro sports.
In the world?
In the world, in my opinion, that I know of. I would say this much. I'm going to give you a statement that might be able to answer it. The commissioner's office said, well, we better check this contract, see if this puts you over the cap.
Since then, the city and team of San Antonio have settled into waiting for Mr. Robinson. The Spurs have fared better than figured. That is due, according to some, to the anticipation of being a contender upon David Robinson's next arrival in San Antonio.
We're very excited about, David Robinson coming to San Antonio. He'll add another dimension to our ball club, as everyone knows. You're looking at a situation that we feel if we can be competitive, when we receive David Robinson, it can make us a championship ball club. But if we're subpar, which everyone predicted us to be, then it's going to be hard. We'll be a competitive team when we receive him, but we want more than that. I think that's why you see the guys out there, working as hard as they are and make the improvements they need to make this summer so that we can get them and automatically be a contender.
So the courtship of David Robinson paying off for the San Antonio Spurs, and now they await their freedom cameras for picture-taking freedom. Leave it to the mind of Minolta. Spurs lead the Knicks 67-62 at the end of the first half, and it certainly could have been much worse. Take a look at the Spurs shooting 25 for 32, 78%, and they lead by only 5.
Remarkable. The Knicks have taken 18 more shots from the field, and it's just a crazy statistic we're looking at.
Who's correct?
I don't know, but Walter will take a look at some of his action. I hope he makes one here in the first half to prove this official score correct. The Spurs got the ball up court quickly many times in the first half. This is one of Walter's more sensational shots of the season, actually, certainly of the night. Gorgeous move by Berry inside. Walter was perfect according to our numbers and can be very happy. In fact, in the last 8
by Jackson.
Yes, Mark was quiet in the first quarter, but got inside with a special shot by him. Trent Tucker doing a lot of rebounding in the first half, and then he comes around, and Jackson with a very tough off-the-hip driving shot. Just a sensational move. Tucker, by the way, had 3 rebounds in 12 minutes.
Jackson with 12 points, Newman with 12, Patrick Ewing, high man, with 14 to lead the.
Remarkable. Turnovers really hurt them, though. That's what brought the Knicks back into this game, and the Knicks got 16 points out of those 16 turnovers. Mark Jackson, surprisingly, only with 3 assists in the first half.
Final score, the Atlanta Hawks bouncing back from the loss to the Knicks Saturday, knocking off Milwaukee. And the Islanders leading Minnesota 4-1 in the second period. One of the games tonight of the NBA, LA Clippers playing at Phoenix. We're set for play in the third quarter, and Barry will toss it in. Robertson, Dawkins in the backcourt. Barry up front with Anderson and Nymphius. Nymphius playing with 3 fouls, and his backup Goodmanson also has 3. Here's Barry. And the call by Dick Bavetta. Bavetta and Ed Middleton are the officials. The call against the Knicks, and a holding foul against Walker. That is his 4th. Here is Newman replacing Walker. Kenny Walker, 4 for 4 from the field, but forced to sit down.
When the Knicks played the Spurs, their only other time this year in New York, the Knicks allowed the Spurs 70 points in the first half. Today it's 67, but at the end of 3 quarters in that game, they were up 2. So let's see if history can repeat itself by the Knicks.
And another Knick foul off the pressure. This time it is Newman, his 2nd.
Knicks starting with the pressure right away, full court pressure. There's a pinch on Nymphius.
And now Newman up on Nymphius. Here's Barry. Dawkins. Johnny Dawkins has hit 3 of 4. He has 10. And the Spurs now lead by the score of 69-62.
How about Johnny Dawkins, the only player on the court to play the entire first half and only took 3 shots.
Traveling violation gives it back to San Antonio.
Good fake, getting that defense to commit.
Robertson met by Wilkins. Dawkins off a crossover, gets it out. Here's Robertson, and rebounded by Ewing.
Boy, the Knicks play, the way they have to think is if they can just get the Spurs to cool off a bit, they can go by them.
Gerald Wilkins, who has come on, now has 8 points. And the Knicks back to the trap. Now down by 5. We are just underway here in the third quarter. Robertson shoveling to Anderson.
Amazing, he did not draw the foul either from Ewing.
Jackson finding Wilkins.
Jackson penetrating. That's the secret. That's what these guys call the Spurs do so well. Robertson and Dawkins.
So the Knicks have it down to 3. They trail by as many as 15. Anderson, oh, beautiful pass from Dawkins.
And what a penetration by Dawkins. He's so good at that.
San Antonio 71. The Knicks 66. Newman got the step off the fake. Yes, and it counts. Newman going glass, and he will go to the line. And I guess the ankle is all right.
Yeah, Newman with a tough move in here. No question, he was socked from behind.
Walter Berry on the foul, his 2nd.
Knicks now, Marv, I think for the first time in this game can play with real confidence. They have proven that they can come from way back against this team. The Spurs allow more points per game, 117, than any team in the NBA by 4 points. I mean, they will let you score.
It's a 2-point Spur lead.
Correct that, 114 they allow.
Nymphius preserving it and then lost it. Here's Wilkins saving that Green pass. Jackson, the trailer, able to field, and Green lost it. Robertson, Anderson. It's an interesting sequence.
Wow. The evil spirits have overtaken the Spurs.
The Knicks can tie it. Newman going behind the back, and then was rejected. 3-on-2. Dawkins. And the Spurs by 4, 73-69. Ewing and Nymphius in a battle, both in foul trouble. It's called on Nymphius, and that is his 4th. Ewing is playing with 3.
Knicks wisely going to Ewing, who draws a lot of attention as usual.
So Tucker able to keep it alive. Ewing getting in and draws the foul.
Ewing's presence is growing in this game. Nymphius not able to contain him down low. What a difference when you don't put the ball on the floor. People can't bother you. Ewing going right up.
And now as Ewing continues to struggle at the foul line, but the Knicks again recover. Here's Ewing. And the game is tied at 73.
Hey, those 2 points should go. There should be a new statistic. Those 2 points by Ewing should go to Mark Jackson. He made it happen.
Ewing is 2 for 7 from the line, but again on a second chance was able to take advantage.
Bottom of the screen, Mark Jackson out of the play. Quick to the ball, pursues it. Gives it to Patrick Ewing, who appreciates the room and slams it home. Ewing is really becoming a monster.
And again, the Knicks providing difficulty off the press. The game is now tied at 73. Robertson finding Anderson. And the Spurs lead 75-73. The Knicks have come back from a 15-point deficit. The Spurs with phenomenal shooting in the first half and a 3-pointer for Trent Tucker. San Antonio shot 78% in the first half, and now the Knicks have taken the lead for only the second time tonight. They led very early in the game by 1.
Knicks are now shooting 51%.
Five on the shot clock. Excellent defense. Nymphius. Berry able to get to it. Can't find possession. Anderson was held.
Rick Pitino just sprung up. He's averaging that amount of points, Marv, but lately, the last month or two, he's a 15-point scorer.
Tucker stepped out. He's claiming that he was pushed, and it will be San Antonio ball. 7.5 remaining. Third quarter, high-scoring ball game, tied at 76. Anderson, and again it was Neely able to find the open man.
Neely has that Wes Unseld style of a two-handed over-the-head pass, right on the money.
Cartwright spinning, and he drew the foul. So Cartwright will go to the line. Sidney Green, Johnny Newman return, and Lewis Orr. Trent Tucker will sit down.
Cartwright getting some time now after that 3-minute first half. No problem for him to roll in on Anderson.
Cartwright's problem, the 3 personal fouls he picked up over those.
Say this though, Marv, they're playing with great intensity.
And Berry that time with an official missed shot. He was 10 for 10 in the first half. Wilkins. Newman with a great effort. Cartwright foul. So the Knicks doing it off the 79-78. And again some pressure, and Dawkins took his eye off him. He was looking for Wilkins, who was behind him. The Knicks now have Wilkins and Jackson in the backcourt. Newman up front with Cartwright and Green. Green posting Neely. Jackson off a beautiful look from Wilkins.
Amazing. A well-schooled player like Johnny Dawkins, the man with the ball, allowing his head to turn and let that happen.
Sunvolt for Anderson. And a foul called. Ed Middleton, the outside official, calling it against the Knicks. It's called on Green. in second. The Spurs. Knicks have a 3-point lead. It's their biggest lead of the night. Halfway through the third quarter, Wilkins looking to use the size advantage on Sunvolt and drew the foul.
Knicks immediately going to exploit that relationship, and they got results. Sunvolt asking the officials a question. In other words, I'm allowed to push him 4 times, and on the 5th time you call it.
Here comes Dawkins, and followed by Wilkins and Jackson. Loose ball foul against the Spurs. And you know, John, as you watch the Knicks continue to go to the trap, and they certainly had to do it because they fell down by 15 points. And this is a ball game that they felt was a must-win at the start of this trip, with the tougher competition of Dallas and Houston to follow. You have to figure the thinking is 78, and again the pressure. Neely getting in, and fouled by Green. Cuts it to 3, 83-80. Knicks with the lead, 5.5 to go in the third. Now some pressure by the Spurs. Here's Gerald Wilkins. And again, the Knicks by 5.
Defensive intensity of the Spurs in the first half when their offense was clicking is not there now.
Dawkins with room. Jackson on the intercept. Jackson getting in. Forced the issue that time. Patrick Ewing, Trent Tucker getting set to check back in. 8 on the 24. Here's Sunvolt. And the foul committed by Jackson. That is his 3rd. Cedric Toney also will come on. Mark Jackson sits down, leaves with 14.
Boy, is he angry.
The Spurs. And it's now a 3-point Knick lead.
I'm waiting for the chant to break out here in the stands. We want Zevenbergen.
Yes, a new acquisition. Played in Spain, signed just the other day. Phil Zevenbergen, 6'10", out of the University of Washington. Johnny Newman rejected. Here's Sunvolt with Toney back. Dawkins from Sunvolt.
Mike Mitchell picked him out of the crowd. What a play by him.
And the Knicks by 1 with just under 4 minutes to go in the third. Ball goes back to San Antonio as Johnny Newman tried to pull up, but was called for the offensive foul.
Newman dribbled into a building.
Timeout called by the Knicks. And we'll be back
to opportunity. They're great.
Ed Neely getting away with a travel. However, the Spurs lead by 1, 86-85. 3:20 to go in the third quarter. Here's Tucker. And Neely runs it down. Spurs have led by as many as 15. Knicks coming back strong in the second quarter, taking the lead, led by as many as 5 in the third. And on the turnover, it will be Nick Ball, Gerald Wilkins, Mark Jackson back on the floor now with just under 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Wilkins met by Goodmanson. Interesting play, and a foul called on the Spurs. Little volleyball effect. Sidney Green fouled.
Alert hands now. It belonged to the Spurs for a moment. Sidney Green got his hands on it and got wrapped. Zevenbergen, though, great statements by him. He's playing in Sweden until the other day. Got the call. Was a draft pick of the Spurs earlier this year. Happy is not the word, he said when asked how he felt about joining the Spurs. Any place in the States is home now. He said, I don't know what I can do to help this team now. I think I can get a first step on people. I go to the boards. I play good defense. I did all those things last year at the University of Washington, but I don't know if I can still do them. I mean, you really want a guy like that around, right?
We're talking about 22, 23-year-old kid who just out of college.
Well, it's very candid and honest, but what a great opportunity he has to be hauled in from Sweden.
So Green hitting 1 of 2 has tied it at 86. Here's Sundvold. Sundvold on the rebound and gets it back out. Berry with an air ball. After hitting 10 straight, he's missed his last 3. And Bavetta with the call. It's against the Spurs.
Sidney Green felt he had the angle to go around Nymphius, but gotten from behind by Sundvold, helping out.
And that is the 4th on Sundvold. Here's Green, 1 out of 2 from the line. We're down to 2 minutes, 22 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter, and the Knicks take a 1-point lead.
I told Sidney Green today when I ran into him in the hotel, I said, you reminded me of Jerry West Saturday against the Hawks with your jump shooting. Got in foul trouble, so he didn't get that many of them, but he was hot. He said, this summer, I'm going to work on my shooting the whole summer. Last year, he got into bodybuilding.
A 2-point lead by the Knicks. And Mike Mitchell, uncontested, able to tie it at 88. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd. Ewing putting the move on Nymphius. And the foul has been called. Basket counts, and Ewing to the line.
Gorgeous move by Ewing now. This hesitation. Nymphius goes the other way to beat him, and quickly Ewing drops back with that drop step and goes up again on his way to one of his many three-point play attempts tonight.
Nymphius sitting down after collecting his 5th. Here's Greg Anderson back. So Ewing to the line. Ewing is 2 for 7 from the foul line. 20 points in all. Three-point play for Ewing, and the Knicks lead it 91-88. Knicks again go to the trap. Mitchell from deep. He's on fire. Mitchell now with 14, and the Spurs pull within 1.
Shows you what a great shooter he is. He did that over Ewing, who's right on him.
Minute and a half remaining, 3rd quarter. Ewing battling for position now against the rookie Anderson. Wilkins getting in. A duck under move. He whipped by Walter Berry. And the Knicks take a 3-point lead, 93-90. Sundvold able to get away. Anderson. Beautiful shot by Greg Anderson, who has hit 7 out of 8. He has 17 points.
John Sundvold is doing a nice job distributing that basketball.
Here's Jackson. And the foul. Yes, and it counts. And Mark Jackson will go to the line.
I don't know when I've seen the Knicks involved in more three-point opportunities, three-point play opportunities, as they have been tonight. What a beautiful move by Mark Jackson, up and under.
Foul committed by Anderson, his 3rd. And with a minute left in the 3rd quarter, Jackson trying to complete the 3-point play. He's 4 out of 5 from the line. 17 points for Mark Jackson. And the Knicks lead by 4, 96-92. Robertson bothered by Tucker. Nearly stripped him. Mitchell One of the rare misses for Mike Mitchell tonight.
Big rebound by Wilkins in traffic with bigger people, and what a finish.
Gerald Wilkins looking like brother Dominique, going end to end as the Knicks extend to their biggest lead of the night. Timeout called. The Knicks lead by 6. What a guy.
Some friend.
And the Knicks turning it on in the second and third quarter. 40-25. Knicks outscored the Spurs in the third. Lead by 10 as we get going in quarter number 4.
After that slow start for the Knicks offensively, they have outscored the Spurs by 24 points in the last 2 quarters.
Basket will not count. The ball was apparently a foul was called on the Knicks on Trent Tucker. And so it's San Antonio ball. And again, here's the trap. And Dawkins battling his way through it, finding Berry. Walter Berry, who had 22 and a half, was blank in the third quarter. That's his first bucket since the first half. 102-94. The Knicks by 8. They were down by as many as 15 points back in the first quarter. Here's Tony. And Tony has come off the bench to hit his last 2.
Did that in Philadelphia. He did it the other night against Atlanta. The man has brought his jump shot to the NBA, and people thought defense when he joined this team.
Cedric Tony only playing his 4th game as a New York Knick. He was playing AAU ball this season. And again, Johnny Newman getting to the loose ball. Great instincts by Johnny Newman. But Tony out of the University of Dayton was originally a draft pick of the Hawks. Played some couple of years ago with the Hawks and the Suns. And was signed by the Knicks to a 10-day contract last week. And has done some nice things, particularly here tonight. Here's Berry getting it out. And Alvin Robertson drew the foul. Mark Jackson, Kenny Walker making their return. Pushing foul, the call against Sidney Green.
Robertson, one of the game's great guards, has gotten real quiet after that blazing start he and the Spurs had. It's remarkable, this turnaround. The Knicks went to the pressure defense, and that's what turned this game around. Caused all kinds of turnovers.
Alvin Robertson comes in averaging just under 20 points per game. He leads San Antonio in scoring, but thus far held in check with 10 points. 3-point attempt, rebounded by Cartwright. Good play by Cartwright. Here's Tucker from 3. And Berry starts the break. Dawkins on the run. Robertson stripped by Tucker. And here come the Knicks. 3-pointer again attempted. And Newman on the ball. Rejected by Anderson. Oh, terrific sequence.
What a block. Fine play by Tucker. Take a look at the action that took place here. Tremendous block by the rookie Greg Anderson.
Back to the live play. 2:15 gone by, 4th quarter. Knicks with the ball. They lead the Spurs by 8. Here's Newman. Cartwright able to finish it off. The Knicks were looking for a goaltend. And a reach-in foul called.
You can see now, Marv, as you analyze the players on the court for San Antonio, Neely, Anderson. I mean, that's the front line. 2 of the 3 in the front line. You got a rookie who's raw, not really a center in Anderson. Neely now playing the post position for this team. I mean, this is a team you can do a lot with, and now the Knicks are doing it.
Kenny Walker called on the last foul, his 5th. And it will be Nick Ball. Mark Jackson upset because someone at the scorer's table knocked the ball away, not allowing Jackson to flip it in with the Spurs back in the Knick end of the court. So the Knicks would have had a fast break, but it was nullified. 8 on the shot clock. Here's Green. Yes, Sidney Green with his third field goal. He has 9 points. Oh. And last touch by the Knicks.
Well, someone on that Knicks bench, Stu Jackson or Jim O'Brien for the Knicks, is adding up deflections, and that is what the Knicks are doing in a great way tonight. Trent Tucker leading the way, I think, in that department.
Robertson had to force it. Played so well by Tucker. And here's Green. Get the feeling that the Knicks bench is providing the screams of 19,000 at the Garden.
Yes.
Ed Neely showing an outside touch. Very rare to see the bench this alive, and we're hearing a brunt of it because they are just to our left, and they are sparked up. The Knicks by 10, 108-98. 4 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. 5 on the shot clock. Newman. Dawkins for Neely. And Rick Pitino wants a timeout. 7:46.
Horde of members of the baseline bums, but when you're 26 and 39, a lot of people stay home, but they give out shirts to special people, Marv, and I have a baseline bum shirt.
Sidney Green again able to drill the jumper home. The Knicks lead by 10, and they force the turnover. Nice job defensively. 7.5 to go in this fourth quarter. I guess Rick Pitino is serious. He's taken off the sport jacket. And here is Ewing, rebounded by Anderson. Patrick Ewing, very aggressive. I correct myself. He took off the suit jacket. Rick dressing for the occasion here in San Antonio. And Dick Pavetta staring at Pitino, who argued that call.
Pettis tracking a smile, though, as Anderson goes up and under the bigger Ewing to draw the foul.
Stand.
They've also lost 9 straight on the road as of now.
And the Knicks on the road have dropped their last 4. They've won only 3 out of 30. Tucker stopped by Anderson, but the call against the Spurs. Pushing foul. Walter Berry called on his 3rd.
Tucker, normally a main man offensively for the Knicks, is making his greatest contributions in the other areas.
10 again pressing. Good play by Green.
Play like that restores Sidney Green's faith in the pressure defense. He was part of a successful almost turnover.
Down to 6.5 left in the game. Spurs have really had to work hard to cross that midcourt line. Ewing on the reject. 9 on the shot clock.
Greg Anderson surprised at Ewing just coming out of the sky on that one. Oof.
And Berry flings it to Robertson. Dawkins. The Knicks 112, the Spurs 104. Johnny Dawkins has 16.
Crowd is into it. They sense some momentum by their hometown team.
Sidney Green getting the roll. He's had a good touch here in this fourth quarter. 13 points for Green. The Knicks again by 10. Here's Berry. Basket counts. And the foul.
Very in close where he kills people. Jumps well, is strong, getting stronger too. He took quite a blow there.
Sidney Green sitting down.
Bobby Weiss, their coach, said what Berry is a better defensive player than he was last year. That's very important to his development. Said he knows what's coming now, knows what to expect more than he did in the past.
Nice pass from Ewing, and Walker hit on the play. Foul committed remaining in the game. And the Knicks lead is now 8. Here's Berry. And it will be Nick ball. Knicks now going with a lineup of Ewing, Walker, and Newman up front. Wilkins and Jackson in the backcourt.
I think Rick Pitino will definitely need a shower after the game, you know. Boy, is he imploring the top effort out of the Knicks.
Jackson from 3. Mark Jackson with a 3-point field goal. And now Bob Weiss calls for timeout. Big bucket by Jackson. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the game. The Knicks 118 and the Spurs 107. And the call away from the ball. Nick Pavetta calling it on Patrick Ewing for tugging on the shorts of Kurt Nymphius. A tugging foul. Ewing with number 5. Cartwright will come on and replace Ewing. 23 points for Ewing. The Knicks lead is 9, 118-109. Here's Wilkins with a gorgeous spin, and it will not count. Offensive interference. So the ball goes back to San Antonio, or perhaps a loose ball foul. Let's see. Loose ball foul on Newman.
Well, the coach will take that effort anytime.
10. We'll be with you tomorrow night from Dallas here on the Madison Square Garden Network at 10, following the Rangers and the Sabres. Sidney Green getting set to check back in. Robertson called for his 5th foul.
Kind of anxious to see Roy.
Anxious to get a look at Roy. 9-point lead for the Knicks, 119-110. Down to 8 on the shot clock. And last touch by the Knicks. Mike Mitchell will throw it in. Dawkins popping. He was off balance. Newman had played him well, but the shot clock running down, and he had it unleash.
Well, Jackson will now temper the flow here, slow it up a little, get a good shot.
Jackson posting Sunvolt. What a pass. Somehow he found Sidney Green. 121-110. And a beautiful move by Dawkins, who gets it right back. 9-point Knick lead.
With Ewing out now, the shot blocker isn't there. With Pitino resting Ewing whenever he can. Tomorrow's another long day.
8 on the 24. Down to 5. And Gerald Wilkins sneaking in right by Kurt Nymphius. Dawkins not able to hit the 3-pointer. Knicks will try and slow it down now. 2:50 to go in this 4th quarter, and the Knicks lead by 9. Knicks looking to call for timeout. And the timeout is taken with 2 minutes and 40
By
seconds.
Mark Jackson now. Sidney Green all alone. Not a good angle to see him. He was almost facing half court. Jackson that was, but he saw him.
If the Knicks can hold on and win, they will move back into a tie with the Philadelphia 76ers. They'd move a game and a half in front of Washington and only a half game behind Cleveland. That's a two-shot foul, a holding foul call. 113. Remember, San Antonio shot 78% in the first half. And Walter Berry was 10 for 10, but he has been invisible in the second half. He was 10 for 10 in the first half. Here's Wilkins. Yes.
What a tough move. Going left and coming back to that right hand.
21 points for Wilkins. Three-point attempt by Robertson. Dawkins off the rebound. And the Knicks now lead 125-115. Coming up on 2 minutes left in the game. Tomorrow night, airtime on the Madison Square Garden network from Dallas will be 10 o'clock following the Rangers in Buffalo. Thursday in Houston will be with you on WWOR-TV Channel 9 at 8:30. Cartwright off the spin. Bill Cartwright with a power move. His second field goal. He has 11 points, and the Knicks lead by 12. It's their biggest lead. Dawkins from 3. Spurs just firing it up now in desperation as we come up on a minute and a half remaining.
Mike Mitchell is guarding Bill Cartwright.
No foul, no foul.
Talk about a mismatch.
Wilkins again. And the Knicks red hot as we wind down to a minute and 20 remaining. Knicks by 14. Here's Mitchell. The baseline was closed. Good play by Ewing, but he got caught on the foul. And Dick Pavetta with a smile now. Timeout called by the Knicks. Sidney Green could not find him. And Johnny Newman able to finish it off.
There is no Spurs defense.
131-117. Knicks on top. Here's Mitchell. Mike Mitchell with 18 points. A minute remaining. The Knicks will stop the 4-game road losing streak and will win their 4th of the season away from the Garden to make it 4-27. But a big victory, putting them in a tie with the 76ers and within a half game of Cleveland. Gerald Wilkins again. 25 for Wilkins with 40 seconds to go in the game. And Sidney Green collars the rebound. Green has played well. Nice pass. Newman couldn't handle it.
Not a nice pass unless it's caught.
You're right. You are right. But not under all circumstances are you right. 20 seconds to go. That was a nice steal. Robertson taking it right out of the hands of Newman. A clean steal. 10 seconds left. Knicks lead by 12. Final seconds. And that will do it. The Knicks defeat the Spurs 133.